get 725 horsepower if you want it, but you know how the warranty works. You push the car out the front gate and give you the key.
I have a question about the Super Snake. Now, I'm on the list in Las Vegas to get the upgrade, because I have an '07 Cobra, and I'm going to pay for the package. How many of those upgrades are you planning on doing there?
How many what?
How many of the upgrades are you planning on doing? Because I know it's a limited, the list is limited.
For the
GT 500?
For
how
the
many
Super Snakes.
For the upgrades to the Super Snake?
For the, oh.
You know?
We haven't made our mind up how many, because if you announce how many, then you build one more than that.
Oh,
I did that back with some cars years ago, and we built 7,500 of them, and our Coca says, oh man, you sold all those before we finished them. Says, we built 7,500 more. It cost us $4 million. There's 3,000 ambulance chasers waiting out there for you. I hope there's no ambulance chasers.
We'll admit it.
So we haven't announced it. It's going to be a lot less than the other cars that we do. We're trying to build less cars and make them more exclusive.
I go to the Vegas auction lot and I see a lot of the Mustangs sitting there in the parking lot at the racetrack. Those going to be finished and delivered to Ford dealers?
Yes, they all do Ford dealers.
Are you going to then limit that to like every other year like you did with the Cobra? Or?
No, we're going to build a Shelby GT this year, and about over half of the people leave them there for upgrade. I mean, bring them back for upgrades.
There's a whole bunch of them out there then. I mean, was there 1,000 of them?
2,000.
2,000. I didn't get a chance to count them.
Somebody, one of them disappeared the other day, and a day later showed up in Wisconsin.
Carol, I got a question. I've got an 07 GT 500.
Sure.
I wonder whether to put a clear bra on it. There's another one I see running around. I'm from Denver. Tinted windows on it. Would you do that stuff, or would you leave it original?
Everybody tells me to keep my GT 350 or GT 500 original, and I upgrade the suspension, do everything I want to. I want what I want. So it doesn't, originality doesn't mean anything to me. And people say, what's your favorite car? Or something like one of the Daytona Coupes sold for $21 million the other day. Oh, I don't look back. You don't look back. My favorite car is the one we're going to build next. And I just hope that the old man upstairs lets me keep on building things, because my interest is, the way I started out in this business, I wanted to build what I wanted to drive, and I try to build the cars now that people want to drive, but personally, I'd tint my windows if I wanted to. I'd change the suspension if I wanted to. I'd go buy somebody else's supercharger if I wanted to, besides ours. That doesn't bother me. Originality doesn't mean anything. But there's some people that it means everything to. There's thousands of people out there that know a hell of a lot more about those old cars than I do. I don't remember, because I remember when I went back to Detroit one day and 67, late 67, and one of our Cocas guys said, you know, Corvette's coming out with a KR, a King of the Road. And I said, really? He said, yep. He says, here's the brochure. They're announcing it in 2 weeks. Picked up the telephone, called my trade dress lawyer in Washington, and said, his King of the Road taken, trade dress. He said, well, I'll let you know tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. I said, I'll have a new lawyer then. he called me back in about an hour and says, no, it's not taken. And I said, you better be there in the morning when they open to file it. I called 3M and told them to do some fender decal that said GT 500 KR. I called the guys in California the next morning at 10 o'clock and said how many hard tops and how many convertible GT 500s we're building this week. And they said 100. I said they're going to be called GT 500 KRs. And we built them. Didn't build too many, but then a few years ago they were selling for $20,000 over what the regular GT 500 was. And last year they were selling for $50,000 or $75,000 more. And that's just the way we did things. And I'd go in and change things when I wanted to, because if a whim hit me, if I had a thought at 2 o'clock in the morning, we might put it on the production line at 8 o'clock the next morning. So I'm not set. Really how it's done. But I respect the people.
I have I've had 17 Shelbys, and my favorite right now that I have, and I spoke to you a minute ago, and I wanted to check the story on. I have a #67 GT 350 Paxton, all original, and I just turned 400,000 down for it yesterday. So original means a little bit something to me. But the story goes that you raced one of your Cobras behind the plant in LA, and you were deciding to put a Paxton on some of those, and the Paxton beat the Cobra, so that's when you decided to put those on. Is that true?
He was in LA.
Yeah.
Our test track was the Los Angeles Airport runways. They closed at 11 o'clock and opened at 7 o'clock in the morning. 10 miles would drive sometimes all night, and the other guys did the test work. And one of the guys one day said, I drove a Mustang yesterday with a Paxton on. I said, what happened? He said, you could really feel the difference. So I called Brandon Taylor on Paxton. I called over there and said, you want to come over and put one on the car so I can drive it? He did. I don't know how many of them. Somebody in this room can tell you.
20.
So that's the way it came about.
Caroll, were you at Salt Lake City last week? No. My neighbor had a 66 black edition size dash at 19,000 extra miles. His original fan belts, radiator hoses.
Original,
yeah.
Original fan belt?
Oh, yeah.
Trey must not have been in California without that.
It's actually in Havasu now. The last two guys are in Havasu.
Hey, Caroll,
Yeah.
did you have anything to do with Little Red? Remember that Mustang?
I'm that telephone call red-headed stepchild. Some guy in Colorado drove me crazy. No, there's so many fictitious cars and half of them out there are my former cars. But there's so many stories about so many of those things that I didn't have anything to do with. And I've forgotten the story of that, but I know that it was checked out, and I didn't the story wasn't exactly the way it's been told from person to person that's trying to put that car in the register. But I can't give you the details. Yeah.
I'm new to the whole Mustang thing. I grew up with 3 uncles. One was a Mopar guy, the other guy was a Chevy guy, and then I had my
I've been all of them.
But and I don't know the history like a lot of these guys do. Were you involved in the actual bringing back of this retro style Mustang?
Yeah.
Just huge thank you from me and probably all drivers of it. It's so nice to see that kind of attention to detail, not having cup holders everywhere and all this other fancy stuff. It still is a modern, still trying to remain true to the original. And I just appreciate that.
Well, thank you very much.
My uncle had a 68, and I mean, we used to go out here to Beeline Dragway and race it, and just, I mean, we had so much fun. And those cars were just simple and fun and enjoyable to drive. You could drive them every day, and we just absolutely thoroughly loved it. And I had my Porsche phase and my other phases, and I'm just finally coming back around full circle and enjoying this little Mustang GT that I've got. And I just wanted to thank you.
Well, I appreciate what you say, because I get a lot of letters asking why I don't put cup holders in them.
Thank you for staying true, and the whole design team, whoever was involved, just all those little subtle nuances, all the things that makes that car what it is. And I just had one additional question.
Sure.
When you were making your rounds, I didn't get a chance to shake your hand. Can I do that afterward?
Sure.
Just make sure to
I'll
grab
shake hands with everybody. I'll walk around and shake hands with all of them.
All right.
And thank you for being here, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And which charity is this for?
I
Does this
think
go
it's
to?
for the, we have a children's charity that I started after I got my heart transplanted, and it started out as to make, there were young boys, 112, 115, died on each side of it waiting for a heart. And I said to the old man upstairs, I'll try to do something about this if you get me a heart. And I had just 2 weeks to go. People had a man on each side of me help me to go tinkle. And
So we like attention to
I
detail.
got lucky and got a heart, and the foundation was based on the fact of making people aware of donating their organs if they get unlucky or when they pass on. And it got so that it's very hard to get publicity on things like that. Now, I was just talking to some ex-policemen that have the Olympics for the disabled out there, and they were just griping because you can't go get any press anymore. You can't get any press on making people aware of donoring. So I've turned the foundation we've turned the foundation into helping children in need in different things. In fact, I've just been talking to some people at a little college in East Texas, down where I was born. And I think one of the big problems in the world that I see now is these 40% of the people dropping out of high school. So I believe if we put a program together at some of these colleges and take these people that go out, that drop out of high school and go out and work for $7 an hour, and there's such a shortage of technicians in the automobile industry now, in the service end of the dealerships, that I'm going to use the foundation to help train those people so that they'll make $30 an hour instead of $7, and we won't have to support them. So I've turned the foundation into whatever I want to do to help try to make the world a little better place.
Well, thank you so much.
Cleo and I decided that together. She runs the War Department, and I just talk.
Thank
I
you.
just wanted, my name's Lisa. My dad was a life
That's where I got my heart.
Did you really?
Uh-huh.
They've got a great I wanted to thank you because sometimes it takes somebody that's got notoriety to bring it out to the public. And there's so much misconception about being a donor, but when you see somebody that's out there promoting it and sharing stories that you, like you, and showing that you can live life with a second chance. And so I wanted to work with you, and that's, you become my hero.
Oh, thank you. Well, Dr. Trento at Cedars-Sinai put my heart in, and I was very lucky. I had 3 bypass surgeries and had 12 bypasses, and he went and retrieved the heart that I got, and I was very, very lucky. I've just passed my 17th year, and the average is 5 years. So he went and retrieved it, took from they usually cut it off the aorta, and he took out all those old bypasses, and that's the reason I'm so lucky. And the poor guy, you know, he passed out at the crap table in Las Vegas. I guess he threw the wrong numbers. I got an excellent heart. He was a very healthy person, and he was on life support for 9 days, and his wife said, donor, everything, and 3 months later, his corneas, his pancreas, his heart, his lungs, his kidneys, and his liver were working in someone. So, that's and now Trento, he goes to Ecuador every year and operates on 50 kids that have holes in their heart, different cardiac problems. And he and 5 of his buddies go down there and spend a month. And Cleo and I have helped him build an operating room. They had to use an archaic operating room, so we built it, helping to build the operating room for him this year.
That's awesome.
But that's wonderful of him and those doctors to go down there and give a month of their time every year. Anyway, thanks all of them. You know, come around and say hello to you. Well, I think they have something else for me to do.
Do you want to help me do the raffle, or can you help me? We have a couple items that we decided to bring that are autographed by Caroll. And a couple of you lucky winners will get these. You want to draw one? Which one do you want to do first?
Go ahead, Cleo.
Cleo will help us. How about Mike Ireland? The next one will be a die-cast card for Sam Neal. Sam? Get my favorite car. And signed and everything. We'll do another die-cast card real quick. Congratulations.
Now, who was this to? Mike?
Ireland.
Mike.
Ireland.
This is
Huh?
Mike Ireland.
How about this?
Peter S.C.
Right here.
How do you say your last name?
Fergie.
There we go. That's what I got. I was going to disturb that. That's what die-cast.
Right, I wrote there. There you go. That's it. You guys both looked out
The
there.
white die-cast. Matt Wessel. Down over there.
You do?
You don't want one, don't you? The last item is a poster.
Sure. Here we go.
Ralph Howe.
You get somebody else to take a picture.
There we go. Yep, that's good. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your donation to the foundation.
Yeah. Let's go.